How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the TacomaBeast channel, where, as you all know, it's all about the taco. On today's video, we're going to be showing you how to convert your stock cloth seats into this PRP seat covers that fit like a glove. Let's get started. I wanted to get seat covers after going on tons of different off-roading adventures and having my friends and I completely cake the inside of this truck. Not only that, I would go to the gym, get all sweaty, get inside, and I could feel how the seats, the cloth seats, were absorbing my sweat. And on top of that, I have a dog that goes inside there and gets its hairs all over the place. I wanted a solution, something that was going to be easy to clean, and that's exactly what this is. Let's go ahead and open up the box and see what comes inside. All right, before we open the box, I want to let you know of the few options that you have. You could choose to simply go with the two front seats and the center console, or the two front seats, center console, and the back seats. There's three different color options that are pretty much standard. You have black with red stitching, black with black stitching, and then black with gray. We will make sure to put a link on the description down below that will take you to our website. We do have this in stock and ready to ship compared to other places where you can get them where you're gonna have crazy lead times. All right, so here, this is the center console I was talking about. And then this right here seems to be the two front seats. That smells good. And then we have the headrests. All right, so this seems to be the back seats right here. Two headrests, and then you have the front that's nice and clean, and in the back you have the PRP logo. Pretty cool. They have been in business since 1997. That's awesome. All right, I went ahead and opened up the second box and laid all of them on the ground. I want to make sure that the sun hits them directly and gets them nice and hot. This is going to allow for me to stretch the fabric. It's gonna make it a lot easier for us to install them. Also, you will notice that there's some wrinkles on some of them. That's perfectly fine. Don't worry, they will go away. After the sun has hit them, it won't go away instantly, but after them being in the vehicle for a while and the nice summer heat hitting them, it's gonna be perfectly fine. A really cool feature about these seats is the material that they're made out of. PRP absolutely killed it by making these marine grade vinyl. What does that mean? That's basically the material that is used out on boats. Any element that's thrown at these seats, they can take, which for us off-roaders, it's awesome. We can get them caked with mud and they will become extremely easy to clean. They're also UV protected, meaning the color on them will last an extremely long time. And they come with antibacterial, antifungal additives to make sure that the moisty mold does not stay on them and it does not start to smell bad over time. Now, I've gone ahead and laid down the seat covers for you guys so we can help identify them. The back is really easy. You have your bench, the top part, the bottom part, and then the single seat in the back. Now, to identify the driver's side bottom part, we have this hole right here that will hold the lumbar knob, and then the bottom part of the passenger side doesn't really have anything. Now, to identify the top part of the passenger side, you're going to have the airbag entrance here. If the airbag deploys, it'll come out through here on the right side, and for the driver's side, you're going to have that airbag deployment area on your left side. Now let's go ahead and install the seat covers. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the front driver's seat, and this is only to show you how we're gonna do the installation on camera. You don't have to do this. The seats can remain in the vehicle and the installation will go just fine. In case you do want to remove the seats because you feel like it's going to be a lot easier, I'm going to show you what you need to do to remove the front seats. There's basically 4 bolts. They're 14 millimeter. So we're going to grab our 14 millimeter socket and go ahead and remove those. Now, to access the bolts in the back, we're going to move the seat to the front. Now we're going to go ahead and remove these plastic covers so we can access the bolts in the back using our 14 millimeter socket. Now the seat can move freely. All right, so the reason why I say I don't recommend removing the seat is because you are gonna have to disconnect the airbag. Whenever I mess around with the airbags, I do like to disconnect the battery, so I've gone ahead and done that. Remove this connector. Now we're gonna remove this tab right here and the seat should come off. And then we're gonna take out the seat through the back, just like that, it comes out. Here we have the driver front seat. We have the bottom part, the top part, and the headrest. First, we're gonna wanna prep the seat. So what we're gonna wanna do, and this is why we took off the seat, is to show you how these clips right here need to be undone. So I've gone ahead and I turned around the seat so you guys can see what we did. And this flap is now loose. We're gonna be using this flap to tuck it inside the top cover, but we're not there yet. We're just prepping the seat, and we're gonna go ahead and remove the headrest. Now we're ready for the install. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the bottom part first. What you're going to want to do is untie the rope. A point of alignment is this right here. You're gonna wanna make sure that this part down here is being aligned with the factory seat, and simply goes on top like this. You're gonna have to really work the fabric all around until you get towards the back. Make sure you do have these cords nice and handy. We will be pushing them towards the back. So at first it's gonna look like it's not all fitting. Like I said, you have to work the fabric. We're gonna be tucking the seat cover inside this plastic protector and then behind the seat belt. A tool that I recommend you guys get for this install is a plastic pry tool. This is not ideal. You want it to be bigger and a little bit wider, but this will work. And then another thing you have to do is make sure that the cord goes behind the seat belt, and we're gonna push it all the way back in between the bottom part and top part of the seat. And you're gonna use your other hand to find that cord. And we're just gonna pull it, as you can see. Don't go all the way. First, you're gonna wanna make sure that this is tucked behind the plastic part. You can use your plastic pry tool to kind of feed it in there. Now we're gonna get this flap and we're gonna be pushing it all the way through so that it can make it to the other side. What we're gonna do is feed the cord all the way back. You're gonna use your other hand to receive it. Here we go, we've made it all the way through. And then you're gonna wanna make sure that the rope is behind the lever. Our goal is to align this with the receiver end of the knob. And then we're gonna be tucking this into this plastic part. Here you just simply push on that rope. You can already see how by pushing on that, it's kind of helping everything get nicely aligned. So I've gone ahead and done most of the tucking. You can see how this is still not aligning 100%. That's totally fine. We are gonna be moving towards the back and pulling on these two cords, and that's gonna make the seat cover wrap around nice and tightly. Everything will align. Make sure you go around and you see that the seat cover is being aligned with the OEM stock seats, and that everything is looking like it should. And then always know that you can use the lever and move the seat around to make it easier for yourself, especially when we move to the part behind and we want to get this seat cover out. After you've worked the bottom seat cover and you're ensured you've done your absolute best to align everything, we're going to move towards the back. This flap right here we need to get out of our way. So what we're going to do is you can use your right hand to kind of put it in there, and then we're going to tuck this in. You want to make sure that this is tucked in nicely and it's not bent. Now that that's out of our way, we can use the cord to feed it through these tabs that they've left for us. Feed it through here. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I found myself in this awkward position where I can pull real nicely and get this nice and tight. And then you're gonna make sure you make a knot. Now all we need to do is get the lumbar support knob, pop it back in, and it's time to install the top part. Now we're gonna remove the Velcro, just like a sock. One thing to notice is make sure that the airbag for the driver front seat is on your left hand side. This is where the airbag is gonna deploy. And then you're gonna work your way around. If you've left your seat covers out in the sun, this process should be easy. It is okay if you have all this excess material here. I will show you how to tuck it away nicely once we're done. Now we're gonna get this fabric and we're gonna push it towards the back. Remember, you have your lever, you can move the seat This will allow you to make the opening here a little bit bigger and easier to stuff in. Our goal is to make it all the way to the other side. Then we're gonna use the lever to fold the seat back in so that it could be easier to work in the back. Now it's time for us to connect the bottom part with the top. I've already stretched out this material, so I'm gonna leave it here. And then I'm gonna push down with my hand, make sure it's nice and tight. And then we're gonna do the same on this side. These cables here, they've cut right here on purpose so that the cables are not getting in your way. Once that's done, all you're gonna do is get this flap, you're gonna move it down, and this is going to remain this way. You're gonna see that once the seat is inside the car, it's gonna look really nice. You're gonna notice some wrinkles around the seat. Don't worry, those will all go away. All you have to do is let the sun work its magic. It will start to heat it, and the seat will start to slowly adapt to your stock seat. Now it's time for us to work our way around the headrest hole mount. I'm not sure if that's what you call it, but we have these holes. They're extremely small compared to the mount. Once one side goes in, it becomes fairly easy. I'm using my thumbs to apply pressure, and then you can use your plastic pry tool to kind of finish tucking all that in nicely. Look how good that looks. We're gonna go ahead and do the other side. And here, I'm gonna use my palms to kind of push down and apply the pressure that I need. Again, we're gonna use the pry tool to kind of work that fabric around. Now it's time for us to tuck away the side airbag. And you're gonna wanna start from the top, stick in your hand and work your way all the way to the bottom. If not, the fabric will start to come out. Here, once you reach the bottom, you're gonna wanna grab it with this hand and then stick your hand out. And as you can see, it tucks away really nicely. The seat is now assembled. It's time to move on to the headrest. I like to install the headrest, leave it nice and tight. That way I can use my strength to install the top part of the headrest. So we're gonna remove the Velcro and we're gonna fit it like a sock. We're gonna be working our way around it all the way until we make it to the bottom. Once we make it to the bottom, we're gonna be able to remove it. So now we can connect the Velcros together. That goes in first, then this part, and then the two side Velcros at the end. As you can see, this looks really good. We're gonna go ahead and install the headrest. And just like that, we're done installing the front driver's seat. Now it's time for us to do the front passenger side. We're gonna leave it installed. It's extremely easy. There's no need to remove it. We removed the other side so we can show you how to remove the bottom tabs. We're gonna go ahead and do that. But before we move on, there's something that I noticed installing the driver's side and sitting on it. This foam right here, it's crazy how much softer and comfortable it will make your seat. Really cool. All right, so just like the other side, we're gonna work the fabric around the bottom portion. We're gonna make sure everything is aligning. And now I'm gonna get this flap and send it to the other side. For the passenger side, you notice you have the plastic piece that's on the outside next to the door. So remember, this thick part of the seat cover, we're gonna make sure it gets tucked inside. And you can use your plastic pry tool to help you do that. There we go. So if you guys noticed, I kind of pushed this in, and since I already had this part inserted, kind of just pushed all the fabric down. And then we're gonna work our way to the back. So now we're gonna make sure that the cord goes behind the lever. and we're gonna send it all the way to the back. Then this leftover flap also goes behind the lever. You could lift up the lever to make it easier on yourself. There you go. Now I'm gonna push the seat forward so we can continue to push the cord towards the back. Now it's time for us to remove this flap here. And you're just gonna reach down, you're gonna feel kind of like a rubber band. We showed you this with the front seat. We're gonna throw B-roll there so you can see. You're gonna remove one, that's right here. And then you're gonna remove the other one so we can get access to the back. Here, again, there's no need to remove the seat, you just have to feel it. So, these are the plastic hooks I was talking about. Just make sure those come off. Now we're gonna get this excess fabric. We're gonna tuck it in here. Make sure you fold it in nicely and that it's not sticking out like that. There we go. One thing I want to point out, notice that on the passenger side, you do have a pocket. Go check in your truck, you will see you don't have a pocket on the driver's side. Now, I don't know why Toyota did this. The cool thing about this seat covers is you will have a pocket on both sides in the back, which is extremely convenient. As you can see, here we have the cord that I had fed through the other side. Kind of gonna pull on it slightly and then pull on this part of the seat cover. Now we're going to feed the cord on the other side. All right, now we're gonna get the cord, make sure we feed it through the back of the seat belt and then feed it through the back here. Made it all the way through, pull that. Now it's time to feed the cord through these tabs. Make sure the cord is hugging the seat here. Same way we did the other side. Make it go all the way through. Once again, I'm gonna make sure that this is hugging the seat. And now we're gonna go ahead and tie a knot. Cool. Now it's time for us to install the top part of the seat. And then we're gonna install it like a sock. Make sure you work around it. Has to go down evenly. Here you can use one hand to grab it from here and one from the bottom and you push down. Now we're gonna grab this excess fabric and we're gonna feed it through the back. Once the fabric has made its way through, you're just gonna grab it from here and pull to tighten it really nicely. And you're gonna do that with all 3 sections. Now we're gonna grab the Velcro. I'm gonna bring this up here, and then with my left hand, I'm gonna push down until it meets the Velcro nicely and tight, and then do that all around. And this flap comes down. If you see this excess, just hide it. Now this flap comes down. And when we bring back the seat, you can see how this sits nice and flush. Now it's time for us to feed the fabric underneath the plastic headrest hole mounts. I already showed you guys how to do this. You can use your thumbs or your palms to kind of work the fabric around. So a little trick I found out to make this easier. So you grab your hands like this, you put your fingers, you start to use your fingers to feed that fabric in, and then you use your body to push back. Goes right in. Now we're gonna feed the side airbag flap inside. Make sure you stick your hand and then work your way all the way to the bottom. When you reach the bottom, you can use your left hand to kind of hold that fabric in place. That way when you pull your hand out, it's not bringing out that fabric. It's nicely tucked away. Again, to install the headrest, I like to actually have it on the seat. That way we can just install it like a sock. PRP logo goes towards the back. And then you're just gonna wiggle it as if you were putting on a sock. Once that's nice and tight, we're gonna remove the headrest, finish tucking it all away, pull on these tabs. Center Velcro goes first. Make sure it's nice and tight. Make sure none of these tabs are being stuck in there. So you should have 3. 1, 2, 3. I like to do the center one first. cool. That looks awesome. Now it's time to install the headrest. Just like that, the passenger seat cover is installed. Let's move on to the back. We're moving on to the back. Honestly, this is gonna be the easiest part. So we're gonna start with the single seat in the back. Gonna get the bottom part. You're just gonna tuck it in through this side, work your way around it, pull it through like that. It's just as if you're adding, bed sheets to your bed. Before you tighten the straps, just make sure that it's nicely flush all around. You can bring the seat back and make sure that it looks nice and fit. And then we're gonna go ahead and pull on the strings to make it nice and even. And then we're just gonna go ahead and make a knot. It's crazy how good this fits. So that these straps are not like flying all over the place when you're opening up the seats and back and forth. I'm just gonna go ahead and tuck them in here. There we go. Just like that, we install the bottom portion onto the top. We're gonna go ahead and remove this headrest. Now we have the top part. A few things to take note here. Make sure this is going on top, obviously. This hole right here is for this strap. And then this, don't remove until the very end, is like a Velcro cover to just protect it, to make sure it's not scratching up against the vinyl here. Go ahead, open up the seat. Once again, install it like a sock. Once that side is in, you can use your body to pull on this side and then work the fabric all the way down. As you can see, there's not much to it. Make sure your seatbelts are out. Really cool feature here, you can also stow away your seatbelt just the way that it's done in the factory. Now we're gonna grab this excess fabric and we're gonna push it through. It's gonna come out through this side. I'm gonna go ahead now with my whole body, pull on it. And now it's gonna be safe to remove this Velcro protector. We don't run the risk of it scratching anything. It has two straps that are attached to it, so make sure you do remove both of them and then apply the Velcro. We're gonna go ahead and fish the strap through here. Make sure you don't forget. If not, opening this is gonna be hard. And then the same way that we used our fingers to kind of feed the fabric into this plastic mount, we're gonna do that. Pretty cool. Now we're gonna move on to the headrest. I'm actually gonna put it up here in reverse form. So make sure the PRP seat is going towards the back. This is the back. That's why it's aiming outward, but it's just for installation purpose. That way it's easier for me to install it like a sock. I don't have it moving around. It's nice, solid. Make sure that you have three. None of these have tucked themselves in. You're gonna do the center part, side Velcro, nicely tucked away. Now we're gonna put the headrest back in place the way it's supposed to. And that, my friend, looks incredible. All right, we're in the home stretch here. Time to install the bench. Same way we did the bottom part on that one side over there. We're gonna do it here. Lift it up, pretend like you're making your bed. Tuck in the sheets. Once I've made sure that everything is aligning here properly, I'm gonna make sure that everything is aligning down here properly. Here we're gonna bring the seat down to kind of see how it's all fitting. For some of you, it might feel like it's a little crooked. All you gotta do is adjust. So either you grab it from here, pull like this, or the opposite way to kind of move the fabric around. Make sure that it's nicely aligned. I'm happy with the way it is right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten the seat. So once you've gone ahead and made the knot, we're gonna stow it away. Tuck it in here. I'm gonna grab this excess cord. I'm just gonna tuck it in here. And then here you have this pull tab that we're no longer gonna use. So I'm gonna also stow that away. I actually prefer these. They're nice and small. They do hide really nicely. Whenever you need to pull, just pull from here. Okay, so this crease right here, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's nicely aligned. This is where your seat belts are gonna come in. There we go. It's looking real good. Time to do the top part. Go ahead, remove the headrests. And for this part, you are gonna have to remove the seat belt. So you're gonna use a 14mm socket to do that. All right, so we're gonna install the top part. There's a zipper right here. We're gonna undo all the way until the end. And this right here is where the seat belt's gonna come out of. So the first thing we're gonna do, so we don't have to worry about that, is get the seat belt and feed it through. All right, so I went ahead and pulled back the seat. Seat belt went through. Now I'm gonna start installing this side. Since the zipper's open, it's extremely easy to work the fabric. Now we're gonna get this excess fabric and we're gonna tuck it away towards the back. We're gonna fold the seats and receive that excess fabric through the back. Make sure it's nice and aligned. And you can pull that to make sure that this whole seat is aligning properly. So make sure it's nice and aligned so it can move smoothly. There we go. Slowly, it's all coming together. Now it's time for us to remove the Velcro protector. They're on both sides. I'm gonna tuck that zipper away. I find that it's a lot easier to start in the center and make your way to the sides. We're gonna pull in the center. Use your thumb there to link them together. It does require a bit of strength. Now we're going to tuck the vinyl into the mount hole for the headrest. And I am surprised how much easier it is to do the back compared to the front. These go in really nicely. And make sure you don't forget to bring out that pull strap so you can open. There we go. All we gotta do now is bolt the seat belt in place and install the headrests. Really cool thing is you're able to stow away the seat belts just the way you do it on the factory seats. Just like that, we have installed the seat covers. Now it's time for the headrest. So the way you know how this goes installed is the fatter part goes down here, obviously the fatter part right here. What I like to do is obviously have the headrest installed so it can be nice and stable, and then I start from the back, make sure it's grabs on, and then I'll start pulling towards the front. This is going to be a super tight fit, but it's nothing to worry about. With this hand, push down with my thumb, and then with my left hand I work the fabric in there. Once I feel like it's nicely tucked away, I'll remove the headrest, and now we can finish tucking it all in. Velcro that piece in there. Same thing with this one. Look how nice that looks. These little wrinkles, again, will all go away once the heat gets to it. And now I'm going to show you how to install the center console cover, and then I'm going to show you how everything looks. This right here is where the handle's going to be. So you start from the top. This is one of the most challenging parts in my opinion, so make sure you really stretch it out. You're going to want to leave this part out in the sun for a bit. You're first going to do one side. You're going to try to tuck it in here real nice. Now make sure that this Velcro is not doing what it's doing to me right now, which is grabbing onto the foam. One, it can destroy your foam, and then two, once you've managed to fit it in there nicely, you won't be able to get it out. You'll have to start everything again. So as you can see here, it's sitting nice and flush. Now it's time to work our way to this side. Everything is aligning right. Everything looks good. Once you're confident, you're gonna go ahead and use the Velcro, get it nice and tight to make sure this won't come off every time you open it. That, my friend, looks awesome. All right, fellas, just like that, we finished installing these seat covers, and I'm honestly amazed. I love how this red stitching looks. We do have these available at TacomaBeast.com. They're in stock, ready to ship, and we have three options. You have black on red, black on black, and black on gray. Now, if you wanted to get leather seat covers straight out of the factory, you do have to go with the technology package, and that sets you up at $3,850. That's 5 times more expensive than these seat covers. They feel extremely rugged. I can't wait to go out and abuse them. I want to know what's your overall opinion of the process of getting this seat covers installed. Make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to do so, and we will see you in the next video.